Welcome back to Gold Derby. I'm Christopher Rosen. I'm so pleased to be joined by the legendary Christopher Lloyd, a three-time Emmy Award winner and now a four-time nominee who is nominated this year in the Guest Actor category for a comedy series for his performance as Larry Arbuckle on the Max comedy series Hacks. First of all, Christopher, congratulations on the nomination. I think it's your first Emmy nomination in maybe more than 30 years, if that's
I,
possible.
I think that's very possible. I don't recall. Yeah, because I did two were with Taxi,
Yeah.
and another one of sort of the same period. So, yeah,
Yeah, how does it feel? And how did it feel to get nominated then, and especially for this performance in this show?
right. Yeah, it's you just never know. Never know.
So you got when you I get so Hacks is obviously a great series, one of my faves, and I think people in general, when you were approached to appear, I guess for this third season in this arc and as this character, like what were your first thoughts and like like what were you thinking? I guess.
Uh, well, I was first of all, it's an incredible cast, and I felt sort of intimidated. I frequently feel that way, but I mean, just coming in with them and the artists that they are, their professionalism, and the whole thing, and fit in, is a concern. I want to, I want to give off their energy, get into the energy of the show and contribute.
So how do you kind of, in terms of your performance and as in this character, I guess how much is that with the writing and how much is that what you're bringing to the character? Like how do you kind of do that and match their energy and fit it in the world?
Well, um, he- he- he's right. He's been writing a play, a movie script, uh, biography of his alleged father, although trying to pin down proof of that it can take up some of your time if you're interested. But anyway, that aside, so um, I feel his father has had a great effect on him. His father was a piece of work,
Mhm.
Arbuckle. He was kind of impetuous. Um, he liked the bottle. Uh, he was a little bit lecherous. He was a man who was at some time in life 300 pounds. Can you imagine weighing 300 pounds? And had an erratic personality. He was kind of wild kind of guy. Um, but he knew how to bring it all together and entertain. Um, so my character is writing the biography of his father, which is very important to him. He lives. He's solitary. He's kind of a hermit, and he lives in this massive uh, residence mansion, Tudor, this incredible mansion by himself and his dear uh, uh, falcon, or there's a very special relationship there. But that's kind of it. Maybe he
Yeah.
has some other pet animals or whatever, but he lives in that context of that space and is very jealous of his privacy and all.
One thing you do that's really fun, I think, in the episode, or I found really, like you said, like when we first meet the character, he is like, standoffish, obviously, right? And like kind of like doesn't want to let the people in general, and certainly doesn't want Jimmy and Kayla to come in with, right, to bother him. But you
Right.
warm like you he warms up to them so pretty quickly, and I just found like you warm up as the character warms up so lovingly, almost like he's been waiting maybe for somebody to find him, right? Or like to maybe open himself up previously that has been closed off, perhaps.
I think that yeah, that he longs for contact, to communicate. Um, and I think that's the script he's written about his father is an attempt to communicate, to reach out and get some kind of recognition for himself and his father. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you, what was it like? I guess, like you said, like the cast of the show is really remarkable, right? And a lot of talent. You get to work in this episode. You really work closely with Paul Downs, who's also a
Right.
co-creator, and then Meg Stalter, and the two of them are so great together in terms of their comic timing. So I
Yeah.
guess like, how did you feel like, or kind of how did you work with in that their twosome, basically? You know what I mean? Like they have already established a relationship. You're kind of coming in and throwing it off, I guess. But how did you kind of like make it work so well?
I just what I do, I concentrate character, what his needs are, his relationship with the other characters. I just kind of, however that would turn out, I kind of dove into that approach, and I felt we gelled well. That we were receptive. Okay, yeah, well, it was a good teamwork going
Yeah,
on.
it really is, and I especially with Paul, I find like his
Yeah,
Jimmy's relationship with Larry, your character, is like really fun. Like it's like the both of your characters I find really interesting because especially like I think you would expect the Jimmy character to maybe be more brusque or more like, like a typical Hollywood agent, maybe. And he's
yeah,
actually like pretty kind. And you obviously, like we said, coming in like kind of with initially standoffish, so actually like maybe a big teddy bear, right? Like, or just looking for that kind of kindness as well. And I think they have a
yeah,
great relationship together.
yeah, it was good. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you,
no, I, um, I've speculated in my own mind, not sharing this with anybody else. And I don't know if I should be doing it even now. That it's fine, but I just imagine in a future of him producing the film and me, of course, being the writer and being very obviously there and wanting everything to be just so, and the kind of energy and vibration that could come out of that situation.
yeah, as a fan of the show, I really do hope that happens for maybe a future season. I think that would be really fun to see the movie getting produced. Would be really good. You mentioned like that there's the script. Did you and one of the jokes in the show in the episode is that there it's like different fonts, right? Like that plays like he wrote in Comic Sans or something like
Yeah,
Larry
yeah,
did.
yeah,
Did
yeah.
they actually have for you like a script? Like was that script like did they like is it just like a dummy copy, obviously, but like how detailed is that script that you're working with?
I think that there was a script that had something of that in it, the way it was printed out, just for the scenes. I don't remember
Yeah.
exactly what it might have been, but it seems to me there was some of that nature that was
Yeah.
there.
And how about the you mentioned the Falcon? How about that? Having that the bird being
Oh, I love that. That was because it was very real. I mean, he lives alone there, and he's got this. I'm sure he goes out in the morning and feeds him, and whatever. And it's just real. And I've been around those kind of birds a little bit, on the arm and flying on the arm. I haven't done that myself, but the whole routine and it's mesmerizing. I mean, they just this creature, my God,
yeah.
so
It's pretty scary too. It could be, like I think that's the shows in the show, like whatever. Um, one of the you kind of like talked about like before about how the show is like so there's so much talent on the show. And one of the things I really love about Hacks is that I feel like it does really respect the history of this medium, right? Like television, I think you get that sense, like certainly just based on the show being about Deborah Vance's character, who is like an industry legend. I think it does really respect that, like by casting you. Hal Linden is in an episode this season. Like there's dozens, like they really have like a fondness. I feel like for the history of television. Did you get that sense talking to like Paul and Luciano Niello and Jen Statsky, the co-creators, that they really do respect like the form of television and like the industry that had come previously?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they're all, like you say, they're all veterans, have been successful, and they respect the fact that, this is our life, and we have the opportunity to get up and do what we want to do, and the company avails us of this opportunity for the writers as well, and all the other talents that are involved. It's a place to work, and thank you.
Yeah. You said something I think at the top here about being like, I don't know if you said nervous or what, like the idea that like stepping into the show is like kind of like, like a challenge maybe, or like I guess you still like I said, you're like an obviously like an industry a legendary actor who's been on so many popular things, like Emmy winner. Do you feel like it's great that you still feel that like not nerves maybe, but like that that like tension, I guess, of like before going into a job and like knowing that the risk inherent in like being an actor, I guess. Is it great that you still feel that? Do you feel that way?
Uh, yeah, I do. I mean, um, it's like I'm going to be going off to do a project in a couple of weeks, and I've known about it for months, and done a lot of thinking, for time, Now suddenly I'm beginning to feel the heat. It's down to 2 weeks, and I just, however you put it, it's like an opening night that first day. Um, so yeah, and I still have that excitement. I'm up pretty late the night before, uh, getting, but yeah.
I think that's great. It's still, I mean, I think that it comes across too. I think in your performance, there's such an enthusiasm. I think once you're out there on, like up on the screen, like, and you feel it in this Hacks episode as well, that you're just like really, it's like exciting. It's still exciting for you, I guess, which I think
Oh
is
yeah,
great as a viewer. Yeah.
yeah.
In terms of this, like overall, I guess it sounds like you really enjoyed the experience, and obviously you get this Emmy nomination, which is great, fantastic. What I guess for you, what was like, what's the lasting thing you would take away from this, this performance or this job that you were like, oh, it was really worthwhile that I got to do this.
Uh, yeah, I think I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like what's something you would like I guess that you like having done this that you're like left with like a feeling or like kind of like how do you like how you remember this experience, I guess.
It's all good. I mean, I feel really good. Uh, I love, this is probably going to be not the right thing to say, but would be excited about doing more, um,
Yeah.
in time to just keep building it. And it's, there's so many things, I don't know but what does he do 24 hours a day? He can't, he can't have that vulture on his arm all the time. And so that could be maybe as a life that doesn't take place there. Everybody thinks he's anchored there and they don't go there to fuss with him. But maybe he's got, who knows?
Who knows? I would love to see it in season 4. Maybe we'll get you back, or in a future season, hopefully Larry comes back. It would be fantastic. Like I said, I would love to see the movie. I think the movie could be really fun too. The Fatty Arbuckle movie. Who knows?
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd, like I said, a legendary actor, 3-time Emmy Award winner, a 4-time nominee, a nominee this year for Hacks in the guest comedy actor category. Congratulations again on that nomination. Thank you so much for doing this. It was great hearing you talk about the show and your performance.
You're quite welcome. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.